What up, everybody? Welcome to RDNA. I am Mr. Williams. I know that it's been a minute since I put anything out, and it's so much to talk about. So I feel like it's kind of I feel like you could run into a situation where there could be like a lot of redundancy. You know what I mean? If you just every day you're talking about the same stuff, with there not being any kind of solutions, so it just seemed like bitching. So this morning rather, I just woke up with something else on my heart. So I wanted to share it. Um, if you look at this picture behind me, this is a picture of my four biological children. Um, you have Jaden, Journey, Andreas, and Amarion, my youngest son. Um, and I want to talk mainly just about fatherhood. Um, I didn't grow up with my dad around. I know who my father is. You know what I mean. I always knew where he was. I just didn't grow up with him around as a kid. So I think like a lot of guys growing up without their father, they, they're gonna be the best. They're gonna try to be the best fathers that they can be. In some cases, and some of them tend to follow the same path. And it wasn't until like recently, like now, right, just now in my 40s, that I've really thought about what an impact not having my dad around, like just played in just little parts, just in the way you communicate, the way you learn how to communicate, like as a man, like a lot of the lessons that I learned that my mother wasn't able to teach me on her own. I learned them by watching other men, older men. There were men in my life who, taught me lessons that would come out later on to be very valuable. You know what I'm saying? I won't say that I didn't learn the things that I needed to learn, but I don't think I learned them in the environment that they should have been learned in. A lot of stuff is on the fly. Um, and that's the thing that I find myself now is teaching those values that you were never directly taught, you know what I'm saying, by your father. Um, and like I love my mom, man. My mom was a strong lady, like the strongest lady I knew. It was, I think a couple weeks ago I was talking about like I didn't even realize how young my mom was when she had me, you know. And I remember being a little kid, like 7, you know what I'm saying? And of course my mom was the most adult person that I could think of in the world. But at the same time, my mom was only like 22, you know. And at my age, like 43 right now, when I think about a 22-year-old, like, ugh, you know. So when you take all that and you put it into perspective, and there's a lot. I don't fault my father so much for not being there, but because you can't, you can't put words or feelings or emotions into somebody else. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how my dad feels, when he think about me, or, when he see pictures of me with my kids. And because the same way that I wish that there was a picture of me when I was little with my dad that I could just have, like, just, man, this made my dad when I was a little kid. And I'm sure there might be one or two out there somewhere. I just know I don't have them. But when I was a little kid, I didn't even care. But here now, at 40 some years old, like, I do care. I wish could look at a picture of me and my dad when I was small, because I assume that I would have felt the same way my kids felt or feel when they with me. That they feel safe and they feel protected. Like, oh man, I'm with my dad. And I was telling the two younger boys, that shit, I'm proud to be when we out, public walking around. Like, I got a little bit more straightness to my back because I'm with my boys. I'm with my sons, my flesh and blood. Um, And I get to share little anecdotes with them and be silly and, all this shit I don't remember ever having. Um, and, you know, remembering to trying to get all these thoughts off to them, trying to relay every message that I can in the time that I have. You know, I'm not saying that I know my time or that, but I know I don't. That's the whole point, is that I don't know. Is that I don't know. How much time I have to put into, how much time I have to put what needs to be put into them for this world. I want my kids to be prepared. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, physically, spiritually, I want them to be prepared for this life, because it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Most of us not born with silver spoons in our mouths. But, we teach good character, good traits. You know what I'm saying? And we make the best possible people, that we can make. And but again, not to get too far off the subject, like the fatherhood role is important. Because I just feel like there was little things that I missed growing up. Nothing that's to my detriment. As a person, shit, I did good. By the standards that were set in front of me. So, military veteran, got strong family ties. Not perfect by no stretch of the imagination, like any other human being. But like, I do wish I had that just a little bit. Because I spent a lot of my time, I spent a lot of my life not even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that my dad wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? My mom and my dad. And it wasn't until actually I became an adult male, and I thought about it, and I used to call my mom on Father's Day and tell her Happy Mother's Father's Day. Excuse me. As I got older, it just became corny to me because I know better. Having now become a father myself, it's more. It's not that you can't. I don't. No disrespect. To all the loving and nurturing moms out there. But now, no, I can't. You can't be a mother and a father, because a mom and a dad, they bring two different bags. And you might have a little bit of the same stuff that you could, but it's not the same. It's not the same. The patience and understanding that you will learn from your mother is different than the patience and understanding that you will learn from your father, because they're two different people. They come from two different worlds in that way. Men behave a certain way. And it might sound weird to a woman hearing me say this, but men behave in a certain way. There's a standard way that men behave. There's some unwritten agreements that men go into knowing, hey, this is how this go. It's the same. Like when people talk about the streets. I'm not a street dude, but I know the street rules. So, like, again, I'm not saying that to take nothing away from the moms that love and nurture and do it all by themselves. But the male perspective, like a true male perspective, you're never gonna have that. You're just not, because you never walked a day in male skin. And that's no disrespect. Maybe that makes put more of an incentive on the men. Like when my daughter was born, my number one concern when I found out that I was gonna have a baby girl was that she didn't have any daddy issues. None whatsoever. Now, she's never gonna be looking for a pseudo father figure, because she had her since birth. He loved her and adored her before she came in the world. That goes for all three of them. I loved them before they were born. I talked to them in the womb. You know, because I understood the importance of who I was going to be to these people, what I was going to mean to their development, good or bad. Um, but hey, that's what was on my heart this morning. I just, you know, love each other, take care of each other. Mr. Williams, our DNA. Deuces.